Hello, hello. Looks like we're live. So, I'm here to talk about self love. And now, this may sound kind of crazy, and what does self love have to do with anything? But self love is our most important thing right now. We live in a world that kind of degrades us and makes us small and makes us not worthy, and it kind of steals our love from us. Sorry, I'm going to get a drink. It's part of the process of keeping people controllable is to take their power away, and taking their power away is a whole crazy ass process. I'm going to say it that way. Taking our power away is to make us feel like we have no choice in our world. We don't get to love. We don't get to share. Weird little blackouts here from our friends at Facebook. But one part, not loving ourselves, something really crazy starts to happen. We start to kind of implode inside, and we start to try and please people. Maybe it starts with our parents, trying to please them, make them happy, make them feel safe, etc. And we just slowly exhaust ourselves. We pick up all this programming that says I don't come first, or what I want doesn't matter, or what I need doesn't matter. And then we go into a programming cycle of marriage, etc., where it's love outside ourselves. So let's love our partner so they'll love us back, and then we feel like we're uh, worthy, etc. It's exactly the opposite of what we're actually able to do. We are worthy always. We are divine creator beings. We are loved by the universe. We love by ourselves, etc. But we get into these places where the world beats us down. We just went through a period of almost 3-4 years where our rights and our choices were taken from us, and all of a sudden we're just sitting in this place where we're alone and feeling sad and angry, and we've really lost the act and the art of self-love. So self-love is doing things for yourself first. We may be a parent, we're trying to do things for our kids first and give them an upper hand so they have a life or whatever, but we forget ourselves. When's the last time you were able to go on a vacation? When's the last time you bought something nice? When's the last time you went out to a show? um, I got treated by a friend yesterday, and we went to this rock ballet, and it was beautiful, and it was new, and it was different, and it's something I hadn't done for a long time. I got out of the house and did something for me to have fun, and it was pleasurable. It was fun. So where's the pleasure in your life? Where's the things that are fun? Everything is just a struggle. Sometimes it's having money and paying your bills and satisfying everything outside of yourself. When's the last time you did something for yourself? So self-love is that. So self-love starts with a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of tests we're going through right now. So self-love is, do you set boundaries with other people? Somebody's asking you to move and you don't feel like moving or whatever. Well, you have a choice. I just went through a moving process with my parents. It was hard and not fun or whatever, but I love them, and that's what I want. And they're moving, and they're doing some acts of self-love. They're downsizing their home and moving into an active living space where they can now make choices for themselves, even though medical stuff might show up or whatever. And it just gives them that kind of safety net, which I loved. And I was so happy to be able to go there. It was exhausting work, and who loves to move? But this is something I love. My parents, and they've loved me, and they took care of me. So I went and did things like that. But there may be somebody in your life that's been asking you all the time for help, and they've really never helped you when you need it or whatever. So we're setting these boundaries. We're starting to love ourselves. We're saying no more. This isn't going to work. um, Having pleasure is the next one. So we stand in a world where pleasure and our body's pleasure, and this starts with an act of self-love for yourself. Is, do you go have a nice bath? Do you put Epsom salts in it? Do you make nice perfumes? Do you light a candle? Do you sit and spend an hour all by yourself? That's the first level of self-love. Touch, going out and exercising, not always just being on the chase of making food and cleaning the house and doing all that stuff. Where's the self-love? Next thing comes down to pleasure in your body. So this may be something that makes people uncomfortable or whatever, but our personal sexuality and our pleasure in our body is one of our biggest, most important regulation systems that we have. The feeling of bliss and pleasure in our body releases all these beautiful hormones, oxytocin, serotonin, all these things. And if we're not having a partner in our life and we're not having that kind of being stimulated by somebody that we've joined up in our life, we can give that to ourselves. There's a lot of stuff out there that says it's not good to have pleasure by yourself or whatever, or it's not healthy, or it's some kind of addiction or whatever. It's a regulating system in our body. If we can't get it from somebody else, we can do that for ourselves. Even something simple like just feeling the hairs on the back of your hand, or feeling touch, or sometimes maybe feeling a sharp kind of slappy sensation or a grippy sensation, that can feel good in our body. It gets us back in our body and it grounds us. We talk about going in nature. We talk about going out and trying to be grounded and all this kind of stuff. We have these possibilities within our own body, but they've been stolen from us. Our church and state and whatever says, hey, you can't give yourself pleasure. Well, you can give yourself pleasure, and it's not about finding someone else to partner up with and going through a whole bunch of hoops or whatever. Start with giving yourself love. And what would be giving yourself love? Like regulating it, making it feel grounded, giving it massage. Go out and get a massage, have somebody massage your body and make you feel good. But at the same time, you can do that for yourself. Go massage, buy one of those like guns or whatever. I've got one of those impulse guns, and I've got like tight hips and tight back and stuff, and I just go on my back or whatever, and it feels good. What are the things you do for pleasure in yourself? Put on some nice lingerie or some nice clothes, or put some essential oils on yourself, or light some candles, or eat some chocolate, or something that's really sensual and good for you, and it kind of makes your body go, that feels good. When do you do that for yourself right now? Most people are kind of like waiting for a partner, waiting to find something, dating and all this kind of stuff to get that stuff back in our life, when really we don't have to. We have the ability to do this for ourselves first, and we don't have to worry about shame and guilt and all this kind of stuff. Even talking about the word about sexuality, of pleasure, of orgasmicness, it scares people. It's like, oh, that's dirty or whatever. Well, I want you to go inside and say, okay, why is that dirty? Who told you it's dirty? Why is it bad? This is something you're doing on your own personal time, in your own personal space. Doesn't have to be shared with anyone. There's no guilt or shame or whatever, unless you believe that it's shameful to self-love yourself and look at it as self-love. We are getting back to finding a way to feel bliss, feel pleasure, feel orgasmicness, feel that energy flowing through our body. And if we go and try and find that with a partner or whatever, it just puts a whole bunch of other bullshit on top of it. Go find it for yourself first. Once you know what your body wants, it can be the most graceful, beautiful experience. And you spend some time once or twice a week where you just sit with it. If you're doing it 15 times a day, then you got an addiction or a problem. But if you're going and just getting in the bathtub and feeling good and allowing yourself to feel good, and then you feel meditative, you feel grounded, you feel safe, you feel in your body. That's the thing we're talking about. So I don't want to talk about it a whole bunch here, but if you go over to my Awakening Through Sexuality group, it's not some gratuitous group or whatever. We're just talking more openly about self-loving and helping ourselves. And this is what I'm here to bring some of this stuff back, get people out of their shame and guilt so they can love themselves. And we're at a point right now where we so badly need to be grounded. We need to channel these life energies and light energies that are coming through our body as much as possible, because that's what's changing everything. Somebody's texting the hell out of me here or whatever. Oh, I'll have to wait. We are learning to self-love again. The self-love is external. It's touch of our own body, and it's setting boundaries. It's starting to choose us and create for us. Don't create for other people. Don't love them first and say, hey, I want this person to feel better or whatever before I feel better. No, I need to feel better. It's kind of like putting your oxygen mask on the plane. If you pass out because you didn't put your oxygen mask on, how can you help your kids? How can you help the people across or whatever? We are self-loving first. Be self-love. Be self-love to other people. Talk to them nicely. Talk to them friendly. Even though you want to be angry or whatever, just share some self-love. Just, hey, I love you. Hey, how's your day? What's going on? This is all self-love. And like I said, if we want to explore the pleasure side of things, which I think is a path to awakening and helps us get through all this kind of stuff, come over to the Awakening Through Sexuality group. I'll put a post at the bottom. It's just a private group so that not everybody and their dog is commenting, and I kind of filter people so that we can have discussions about it. It's like, hey, this thing happened and I don't feel comfortable, or I'm feeling some shame, or I'm feeling some guilt, or I've got some trauma coming up. We can talk about it in the group. Other people can share their experiences. It's a private group, not because it's it's messy or whatever. It's a private group because we're talking about stuff that's really personal and vulnerable. So where's your self-love? How much self-love are you giving to you every day? Are you looking for it outside of yourself? These are all clues that you need to find more self-love for you. So go over to my awakening group. I'm going to put a post up there shortly about a process to just go in and release all our old connections and shit that weren't serving us, and then going into an exploration of touching yourself. And I'm not talking sexual, I'm just talking touching for pleasure and feeling good, and getting a calm space and how to breathe and all this kind of stuff. And then how you go with that is completely up to you. Some people are going to want to be pleasurable. Some people are going to want to just sit there and calm and sit with their left hand on their stomach and their right hand on their heart and just sit there and be really quiet and calm and breathe and feel good. These are all parts of self-love. Take some time for you to get back in your body and feel safe and know that things are going on. So are you self-loving right now? Ask yourself that question. If you're not, look on my page, look on the awakening page, and I'll put a post to it down at the bottom. So this is what it's all about: self-love, getting back to self-love first. So once we have that, then things get much simpler and we start letting go of some of the other stuff. If the energy of love is within us, it clears out all the stuff that's blocking us, and some really magical things start to happen. So I thank you for listening. You have a good day. Are you self-loving? Talk to you soon. Bye. Look for the post underneath the other group. Bye-bye.